Good morning, everybody. It's Marcia from Oils and Wellness with Marcia, and I'm still on this book. We're just about halfway through the ULA, Finding Balance in an Unbalanced World, and I'm starting the blockers now. And the first blocker is fear. So let's see how far I can get through with fear, because it's semi-long. So the path to realizing our dreams is never smooth. From Susan L. Taylor, former editor-in-chief of the Essence magazine and founder of the National CARES mentoring movement, CARES. In addition to the 7 F's of ULA, there are habits, beliefs, and attitudes that will either hold you back or propel you forward. We call these ULA blockers and ULA accelerators. And while our blockers and accelerators may be different from others, you're likely to recognize a bit of yourself in the responses, the traits, and the self-talk that we'll discuss in sections 3 and 4 of this book. Blockers, which start in this couple of pages, are the junk that keeps you from showing up fully, thinking of yourself as unworthy, or asking for what you need in order to be happy. Not only have we experienced these blockers ourselves over the years, but we see them time and time again in the lives of ULA event attendees and those who meet on the ULA bus. Blockers like guilt, self-sabotage, and anger can keep you from going on what you want, even holding you back subconsciously. They're a negative head game and will keep you from living the life you deserve. In this next chapter, we'll start on the first blocker, fear. By removing fear and other blockers from your life, you can move forward with a clean slate. Focus solely on the positive new thoughts and actions you want to bring into your life. Fear. I think fearless is having fears by jumping anyway. Taylor Swift said that. At age 26, the youngest woman ever included in Forbes' most powerful women list, ranking number 6. In 1932, during the height of the Great Depression, President Franklin Roosevelt knew he needed to calm a worried nation. After 3 years of economic hardship, many Americans had lost their jobs. Many more had lost their homes. And most people had lost the hope and life could ever get any better. Fear gripped the nation. It is recently why Roosevelt delivered his non-famous reality check. The only thing we have to fear, he said, is fear itself. While we probably weren't alive to hear the speech in 1932, it's safe to say you probably lived through your own private hardships a time or two. Maybe you reached the point where everybody looked grim. Maybe you've been in situations where you yourself are crazy and apprehensive, or to find out the actual circumstances were that bad. Perhaps you presupposed something disastrous, then realized there was actually nothing to be afraid of. Most of the time, the paralyzing effects of fear are simply unjustified. Whether it's going on your first job interview, starting your own business, breaking off an engagement, or moving across the country for the first time. These are all things that happen every day, and other people survive them. As long as your gut instinct isn't telling you that there's real danger ahead, our advice is to stay of course. Focus on the bigger picture. Get all the information or practice you need, and then take action in spite of your fears. Where does fear exit for you? There are only two innate fears with all human beings are born with: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Every other fear is learned. And what can be learned? And what can be learned can be unlearned. If you don't like communicating bad news to your boss, for instance, if you're afraid to be in a romantic relationship, if you've got a fear of public speaking or flying or heights in enclosed spaces, realize that these fears have grown over time and stem from a specific incident. You can take care and remove these fears, especially if they're keeping you from accomplishing something you want to do. Have you thought through the individual goals you need to tackle on your way to your ULA life? Once you've written them down, you can start to check in with yourself and identity where fear exists for you. For instance, if you want to lose 30 pounds, maybe you're thinking, I don't want to hire a personal trainer. I'm embarrassed to be the only fat person at the gym. I don't want anyone to weigh me. Well, wouldn't the benefits of feeling sexier, fitting in those gold jeans, or being super healthy outnumber the brief moments of embarrassment and awkwardness? If you're up for a job promotion, but the new gig requires public speaking, are you telling yourself, I'll be a complete disaster in front of the audience? And if the past romantic encounter has left you uneasy about meeting someone new, that too can be overwhelming, and better boundaries, more cautious, and maybe setting them slowly by going out on fun group dates with friends. In almost every instance, when you're fearing and telling yourself in your head is exactly what you need to push through in order to get your life into a better place. Are you stuck in analyzing paralysis? Or are you ignoring real danger? Focusing on everything that can go wrong is how people get stuck in analyzing paralysis. I might have said that wrong, but always analyzing their options and never moving forward on their goals. Unjustified fear paralyzes people. We see it all the time. Someone is presented with a true opportunity. They analyze it to death, thinking of every reason why it won't work. This fear comes from taking action. Keeps them from taking action and keeping them from growing. Fear blocks their path to ULA. At the one extreme are people who ignore their fears completely and throw themselves headlong into dangerous situations. Our gut instinct is there for a reason, to keep us safe. If you feel creepy every time you're thinking about something you're afraid of, chances are that's your mind and your body warning you. Check your facts. Ask questions. Reassess your options. Check out the people involved more thoroughly. Then decide if it's just fear or truly a bad situation. For a sweet spot in the middle, take action where and when it makes sense. Tomorrow we'll be talking about The Courage to Leave by Christine. I hope you enjoyed today. If you have any questions or if you want to learn more, follow along and smash the like button. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Ta-ta.